Hi folks, yeah hi. I like to talk about royalty, British royalty and the first in line. I looked into George V and he was actually the Duke of York. Now it goes back way to the times of Victoria and she reigned for 64 years. She had, I explained in one of my earlier videos about the Jubilees, the silver, gold and diamond, how many years they consist of each. She died on January the 22nd in 1901 on Osborne House in the Isle of Wight. Her son Edward VII took over, which is the Prince of Wales, and when he took over he donated it to the National Trust. So it's been that ever since. And basically the Prince of Wales is the heir to the throne. His brother is always the eldest heir to the throne, and his second eldest brother, the Duke of York, the current Duke of York being Prince Andrew, of course, but he's not next in line. It's changed a bit since then. But then his son, the future George V, he shouldn't have been next heir to the throne because he had a brother. I forget his name. There's a documentary on him recently on yesterday, probably originally the BBC One because I show BBC documentaries on BBC One 2 on yesterday, which is channel 19 on Freeview. But yeah, he died or whatever. He was involved with Mary Attack, either courting or he was engaged to be betrothed to her. And then George V was in line then. He married Mary Attack, and they became George V, and then his eldest son David, which then became Edward VIII, Prince of Wales. He abdicated after a year. He came to the throne on January the 20th, 1936, when his father died, and broke with protocol because he wasn't there for his. He watched it from a window, and when he's officially announced as king. I don't know what the name is. Maybe you can help me here, one of you guys. And then. He wasn't around for his coronation, which was then scheduled for the 12th of May 1937, because he abdicated on around the 10th to the 12th of December of 1936. His father even predicted that he ruined the country within 12 months, and he was right. Because he wanted to marry the twice divorcee, he was smitten with her. He had a infatuation with her, Wallis Simpson, who was a twice divorcee American. So you can imagine how that was at the time. The Stanley Baldwin government, Conservative government, they were threatening to resign. That's how bad it was. So he abdicated in favour of his brother, also the Duke of Windsor. So it's like a ping-pong match, rather like the House of Lords and Commons when they're doing a vote and they can't decide. Edward VII, Duke of Windsor, Prince of Wales, then his son George V, Duke of York, Edward VIII, Prince of Wales, and again Duke of York. You get the idea. And then. He had a stutter, couldn't speak very well. He had a speech therapist. It's all outlined in the movie The King's Speech. Colin Firth plays him, George VI, and his brother is played by Guy Pearce, who played Mike in Neighbours back in the day. And then Elizabeth took over, his eldest daughter. Is always the eldest. She had a sister called Margaret, but she took over. So technically speaking, George V should never have been king. His son George VI, his second eldest son George VI should never have been king, and Elizabeth II should never have been queen. So yeah, even her husband Philip, Prince Philip, aka the Duke of Edinburgh, the Duke of Edinburgh Awards are named after him. He's only a prince consort. The same with Mary Attack, she was a consort. The same Elizabeth Boyne Lyons, or whatever she's called, the wife of then became the Queen Mother. The Queen Mum of George V. Again, Prince, Queen Consort. And then with the male equivalent, it's a Prince Consort, like Elizabeth, Victoria's husband. He was Prince Albert, Prince Consort. And he died age 42 because he was trying to get his son Edward VII, their eldest son. He was the philanderer and all this. Rather like his son that was supposed to take the throne, but he died. And he died of pneumonia in the rain, and he died only age 42, a year older than myself. So yeah, hope you enjoyed.